To talk about the topics on the screen here. Uh yeah, the title, you saw it right. Stop being weak. And unfortunately, I've done this before, but I feel like sometimes it's good to just use harsher language so that people really understand the seriousness of really what's going on. So I wanted to talk about. I've seen yet again another clip of some so-called pastors and Christians. Hey, how you doing, Jess? And so-called religious men that are not religious men. They're false Christians. They're false prophets. They're everything false that you can think of. False advice givers. I everything. But anyway, I wanted to talk about it, like using faith as a weapon or as a way to get women to accept cheating and disrespect. Now, I made a video about this, but by far, these pastors, and they and these religious men, they got to be stopped. And that guy that does the Dear Future Wifey podcast, he got to be stopped too. Honestly, you do not get any type of, like, accolades or praise for being a man's doormat and allowing him to walk all over you. And that's the reason why y'all managed to make it to 20, 30, 40 years, because you accepted every bogus thing that he did to you and you stayed around and you were like the rash that wouldn't go away. That in what world is that a successful marriage? Also, knowing that if you did half the things that he did to you, that man would have left you. He wouldn't have had none of the faith that he telling you to have. He would have left. He would have been gone. And I saw Pastor John Gray on this like little stage with a whole bunch of other broken women that have been brainwashed by their black husbands to think that getting cheated on and getting okey doked and dogged out, as long as y'all stay together for a long time, that's something that's right. Like John Gray, out here sleeping with multiple women and doing all these things, was saying up there like he only drinks from his wife when he gets thirsty and all of this other stuff. Well, where was that earlier when you was doing all this stuff and embarrassing this lady at church? And even the fact that he's even able to sit up there and say these things and people actually take this man seriously is wild to me. And, his wife, I'm not quite for sure, like, what she's on. I don't know if it's about the money and the lifestyle that you get from being a first lady from, like, a popular church or whatnot. I'm not for sure, but whatever it is not the way to go. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Period. So, yeah, I really wanted to talk about that, like women just staying around, and allowing themselves to be mistreated. You know what I'm saying? Period. It's crazy. Also, want to talk about number 2 topic, infidelity, because I've seen a whole bunch of men that claim to read the Bible, claim to be so Christian, but yet they fornicating, doing rugs, being drunkards and all of these other things, trying to tell women and use infidelity as a reason to why, oh, God told you that you're supposed to stay with a man that's unfaithful. He can get married if he cheat on you, but you got to stay. That's what God wants you to do. And to the women that actually listen to these men and then turn around and talk about how much you hate God and how much you hate the Bible because the Bible sanctions this, just lets me know that, like, you don't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't imagine listening to a man that, thank you so much, Law. Or Lulu, sorry, thank you so much, Lulu. I really just find it to be crazy, like I said. It's literally insane to me, to have a situation where women will allow men that are no good, they don't do nothing by the Bible, to give you any type of information on anything. And then somehow, some way, everything that they're telling you only benefits men. Like, you believe that? It's just like I've been seeing people, Moses, on live talking about the Bible. Just one second. Just like I've been seeing people, Moses, on live talking about the Bible. Just one second. Okay, you guys. Yeah, so I was talking about Moses, right? I know if anybody, it's only 8 people in here right now. So if y'all are in here, I'm sure y'all know who Moses is. I sat there and lurked in the live and saw this man talk about the Bible, try to break down the Bible, starts talking about how God wants women to be helpmeets and women that aren't married are not even worthy of protection. They're not worthy of nothing because they're not serving their purpose, which is to be a man, that is like, what did they say? Your purpose is to be a man's help me and do everything for him. And if you're not married to a man, you're worthless. You're worthless. You're worthless. And I'm thinking to myself, like, are you dumb? Are you goofy? Like, if anybody would ever, and this isn't for anybody. If you don't believe in the Bible, cool. If you don't believe in God or Christ, is cool too. This isn't even about that. This is really just about common sense. You know that there are other things in the Bible, right, that say like, hey, you're not supposed to have intercourse outside of marriage. You're not supposed to be a drunkard. You're not supposed to do this and you're not supposed to do that. But if you see a man doing all of that, but then he wants to tell you about one thing that he thinks is supposed to apply to women, why would you take anything that he had to say seriously? That would mean nothing that he would say you would take seriously, because he not living by nothing that he talking about. Hey, how you doing, Coach T? So that's really what I wanted to talk about. Like, don't trust men that you know for a fact or no good to tell you about the Bible or what you should be doing as a woman. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't understand that. I don't get it. Happy Mother's Day, Coach T. I just, like I said, I don't get it at all. And if you are a woman and you listen to these type of men like Moses and like, what is his name? Black Guru and Cartel and all these other weirdos that be online that you know are not living in any type of quote unquote godly way, why would you listen to them about what you're supposed to be doing as a woman? Anyway, manipulation, spiritual manipulation, religious manipulation. And like I said, I'm tired of seeing, and also women are doing it to other women too. Women are trying to shame women for being single, for not having a man, for not being married, for leaving a man. All while when you listen to those women that will shame you for that, they didn't been through the ringer. The man didn't cheated on them, beat on them, disrespected them, left them broke, busted, and disgusted. And it's like, and then she says, oh, we've managed to get through all that. We've managed to get through all the times that he called me the B word and he said that I was ugly and fat and disgusting and he didn't love me. But hey, I let him cheat. I ironed his clothes while he went to go cheat. But yes, we managed to stay together 50 years. Like, I don't know. If I sound fed up, it's because I am. I'm so tired of seeing that. Like, there is no prize for you getting dogged out by a man and staying. The only thing that you get is your weakness on full display. Period. Because if you let a man cheat on you, you're weak. And it's really just that simple. It's not up for debate. I don't care if you say you got kids. I don't care if you say you don't want to disappoint your family. I don't care if you say you're really in love. If you let a man cheat on you and you know it and you stay, you are weak. And it's really just that simple. And there's so many women right now trying to repackage accepting a man that is played in their face as to be something that's honorable. It is not honorable at all on any level. It's not honorable in the slightest. You let a man cheat on you and play in your face. Why would you think that's a thing that is so admirable as a woman? It's not at all. And, like I said, when you see women that come online and they say these type of things to other women and try to shame them and say, hey, if you don't do this, you're not going to have a man, or if you don't do this, you're a failure as a woman. Those women cannot be trusted. But anyway, you guys, I'm going to try to see if I can wait and see if I can get some more people in here and see if I can get at least 50. So maybe we can have a conversation and I can get some people and hear their thoughts and perspectives on this too. Because it's not like I just want to be the only one talking, Hopefully I can, but I might be shadow banned again. I was doing good, okay, at first. And then, I think I got, let's see, what's this person say? the King says, any woman that's got a OB and made that choice, she can't be trusted. What are you talking about? What does that mean? What's an OB? What are you talking about? I don't know. And at what point are we talking about women? Do you see the topics here on the screen? So why don't you comment on that? Like, y'all be so weird. Okay. All right. Well, I never had that. So what are you trying to say? So now let's move on. So answer my questions. But I bet you won't, because a lot of y'all are so weak and feminine that y'all can't even stay on topic. Y'all supposed to be like, nobody needs any information from you. And that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. If you want to talk to men about what to choose in a woman, then make your own live. You see what I'm saying? Like, y'all some weirdos. Like, you are weak. You're weak and butthurt. That's the reason why you commented that. Because you weak and butthurt. Like, why not talk about the topics and say, hey, you know what? If you let a man cheat on you, absolutely you're weak. But you didn't say that because you want your baby mama to accept you for cheating. That's the only reason. No, you weren't adding additional information. You was trying to be funny. What if I said a man ain't no good that has a criminal record? Ever been arrested at all? He also can't be trusted. Because I know you got a criminal record, ER the King. I know you do. I know you do. So since we're adding additional information, let's add that too. Let's add that too. All right? A man that has ever been in jail, ever been in prison, ever been arrested, ever been locked up, is someone also you can't trust. Because he's a criminal. Oh, you're not typing no more, huh? Okay, exactly. I already knew you've been in jail. I know the look of a man that's been locked up before. Like, get out of here. Skedaddle. Like, get out of here, for real. If you don't want to answer the prompt, then don't say nothing at all. Like, for real, because that's my thing. Y'all get in y'all feelings, and like I said, I didn't force anything on you. All I said was, I know you've been locked up before, and you already admitted it. It's a fact. Anybody can look at you and tell that you've been arrested or something like that before. Y'all always have a look to y'all. Truthfully, y'all always do. And that's what's crazy to me. Y'all always do. Y'all always look like it. Let me just say that. Y'all always look like it. You got a do-rag on and the way you look, yes, for sure. Anyway, like I was saying, I guess some dudes got butt hurt because of what I said. And what's crazy is that I wish that men would realize that also will give you away. Because if all I'm saying is that a woman shouldn't accept being cheated on, and you get on here and start talking about abortions, that means that you are indeed a cheater and you are mentally affected by what I said, and you don't want me to tell women that they shouldn't accept being cheated on. That's all that is. That's what it is. And that means that you're not a good guy. You're not a good person. You're not somebody that women should be trying to talk to. Anyway, like I was saying, I just really want to try to combat this brainwashing that it seems to be like the world is trying to do to black women to get them to accept and make bad choices in men. And I really think that that's something that we really have to talk about. We the brainwashing that is right now being force fed to black women. Let's see here. Micah Hines, you said, who hurt me?
Well,
Exactly what would make you think that I've been hurt by me telling women that they should be respectful and respect themselves and not allow themselves to be cheated on? Would you want your daughter to be cheated on?
I don't have kids.
Okay, if you ever had a child or you have one in the future, would you want your child, or let's use your mom? I'm sure you have a mother, you're here alive. So would you want your mother to be cheated on?
Of course not. Nobody does.
Okay, so then exactly what do you have? What issue that makes you feel like I'm hurt by telling women that they shouldn't accept being cheated on?
I don't know. You just sounded upset, so you just.
Oh, I'm not upset. This is just the way that I speak. But it's good to know that, tone policing still exists, and not just from white tea people, but from also black men as well. It's awesome that you hold up white supremacy. It's great.
If I may ask, are you like some sort of activist by any chance?
Why? What do you mean by activist?
I don't know the type of person that's trying to stand up for something for a good cause, which is I respect, by the way.
I mean, I'm an advocate. I guess I'd say an activist for black women and uplifting them. Absolutely. I don't see anything wrong with that. Do you?
No, I mean a lot. I mean a lot of them. I remember. I think the last one I saw was someone trying to convince me to stop eating meat, but you know.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm definitely not here to tell you to stop eating meat. You can do whatever you want to do. And this message isn't even for you. So I'm definitely not trying to convince men to do anything, to do something or to not do anything.
Oh, okay.
Did you want to answer the prompts, or did you only just want to tell me that somebody hurt me?
See, the first one, using faith as a way to get women to accept cheating and disrespect. Um, I don't know. I don't really see it that much, but I'm not disagreeing with the fact that some men do manipulate to get women. I mean, hopefully, I'm not one of those guys. I don't think so.
Okie dokie. All right. Well, is that all you had to say, Micah?
Yeah, I'll let somebody come up. I won't spend your time. Nice to meet you, though. What's your name? You don't have to tell me. I'm just curious.
Yeah, it's you're triggered.
Oh, yeah, fair enough. Nice to meet you.
All right. Nice to meet you too. You have a great day.
You too.
Okay, so you guys, want to continue to talk about the three topics that are on the screen. One, using faith as a way to get women to accept cheating and disrespect. I think we see that a lot right now with, if you guys know that Dear Future Wifey podcast, which is a so-called Christian podcast where they put women up there, black women, as shining examples of what not to be as a married woman. Women that have said that their husbands were calling them the B word and cheating on them and mentally and emotionally and financially abusing them, but they stayed for years and years and endured mistreatment. And then all of a sudden now, because the man is too old to really get the type of women that he probably could get when he was young and in his heyday, now they're having this love story because he's now settled for her because he realized his options have dried up. That's not a good way. It's not good. Also, and I think, for anyone that is a Christian or does believe in God or anything of that nature, the reason why it's important to speak out about these things is because these people, whether they know it or not, are stumbling other people. They are turning off women from wanting anything to do with anything regarding God or anything because the things that they're saying is completely insane. But it's not from Christ. It's not anything. It's actually satanic and demonic and comes from the devil, in my opinion. And I don't even want to preface it by saying my opinion. It's period. It's definitely demonic. Period. I just like this is not meant to have no Christian conversation or nothing. But it's just whether you believe or whether you don't. You can believe if you don't believe in like the devil, so you wouldn't believe it's demonic. You can believe that it is evil, pure evil, evil. Okay, to tell a woman that she is supposed to stay with the man while he tears her to pieces. And only when he has no other options, that is when that he's supposed to behave at that time. Like, no, absolutely not. Any women that get up here and tell you some junk like that, they're crazy. It's the same as opposed to the older men that will try to tell women that they have only a certain amount of time to get married or to be loved. Wait a minute. Kenneth, you had something to say? You were saying no in the comments. I didn't
Yeah,
understand what you were saying.
I agree with you like that because does that make that woman weak or bad choices? Because if he been dogging her out like that for so long and she still stay, what makes her stay like that? That's crazy to me. I have daughters, and you put your hands on my daughter one time, she better leave you right then and there, no hesitation.
I mean, I think that it's a mixture because I do think that there's a lot of brainwashing that happens to women for them to believe that, certain things are just in a man's nature. Like cheating is just in a man's nature. So, it's not that big a deal. You just got to let him be a man. Some people believe that. And then
But it,
also, a lot of times people tell black women that, hey, at least you got a man. So many black women don't have a man. So you accept all of this mistreatment because at least you have somebody, you know?
but is that brainwash or low self esteem though?
I think it's a mixture of both. I think it's brainwashing because that's what's sold to black women, but also a lot of black women have low self-esteem because the community isn't necessarily uplifting or supportive to black women as a collective. Other races of women are put on a pedestal and uplifted above the women in their own community. So I would definitely think it's a mixture of it all, you know? But definitely low self-esteem plays a part as well. But also when you have so many people publicly accepting mistreatment by men, then that sends a message to everyone else that's something that's acceptable.
No, I get that. I get that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, so yeah, I agree with you. Like it's crazy. That's crazy that it be like that though. But and I was thinking, and this is what I was thinking the other day. Like the black men that say that's my queen, but you don't treat her like no queen. But that's your queen. I ain't saying all black men, but I'm just saying it's out there. How can you put your hands on or disrespect the woman you call your queen?
Yeah, definitely agree with you. Dark Truth, did you have anything to say?
No, not right now. I just came up so I can hear better because you keep skipping, but
Oh,
I'm
okay.
listening.
I don't know. They might be trying to report it. Sometimes that happens. And I tell you, if anybody, y'all are in here, it's only 23 people in here. And honestly, if you are report me for talking about women shouldn't be cheated on, and you're sitting here hitting the tap tap to report me, you got some serious problems because it's way more women with bigger platforms that you can take the time to harass other than me. Honestly and truly. Like the fact, if you're doing that, you got some serious problems. I really, and you need to go look in the mirror and question what you got going on. Really. I just want to say that to you, whoever you are. If you're in here doing that, you got some serious mental issues. Um. Anyway, like I said, I just think that I'm tired. It's not even that I know I'm tired of seeing so many people try to feed this type of scenario to black women that if you, as long as at the end of the day, you know what? I'll say this. It's about the quantity of the years and not the quality. That's not true. Just because you have 50 years doesn't give you a prize, especially if 45 of them were filled with pain, disrespect, degradation, cheating, getting okey doked. Like, no, that doesn't mean anything. You have to tell me that you had 50 years of marriage full of respect and love and y'all uplifting each other and he's not cheating on you. You didn't have to accept the side baby. You didn't have to do these things. Now that's something that you can say, oh yeah, that's great. But if you had 50 years of getting your head knocked between the washer and dryer, why do you feel like you can flex on somebody with that amount of time that was spent? You know, that's all I'm saying. And it's so many women that do that. And then those women that are deeply, brainwashed and affected, they turn around and shame other women that have the self-esteem to not be treated like that. So they'll turn around and see a woman that is single or divorced or she just don't play like that. And they'll try to shame those women for having self-esteem and not allowing men to mistreat them. And I think that is something that we got to talk about because, we talk about men and stuff like that a lot or whatever, but we also got to talk about women that knowingly participate in these type of unhealthy things that they feed to young girls. Or not even just young girls or young women, just women in general. Like, and I also think that in society, we have also made it like cheating is not a big deal. Infidelity is not a big deal. But it is. It is a big deal. It's a huge deal. When somebody steps out on you, they are opening you up to STDs. You getting something that you can never get rid of. Because there are a lot of diseases that you can contract that you can never get rid of, that even if you use a, lifestyles magnum, whatever, for lack of a better word, because I don't know if I can say the other word, you can never get rid of it still. There are diseases that come from skin to skin contact, and there's no way you can protect yourself from that. So my thing is that why would you be with somebody that knowingly risked your health, your life, and everything else for like a momentary pleasure? Like that to me is crazy. Insane. But so many women, accept that. And it's because as society, we are brainwashed to feel like if a man does it, it's not that big a deal. Now, if a woman does it, it's the end of the world, though. It's you, and she needs to be, burned at the stake. She's the worst of the worst. She never deserves anything out of life. Let so many men tell her she deserves to be unalive and all of that. But a man does it, oh, it's no big deal. It's just men being men. They can't help it. They need a variety. How could you ever expect the man to be faithful to you for 5, 10, 15, 20 years or for a lifetime? He can't do it. He can't do it. And, if you're a woman and you actually believe that, congratulations, you have been brainwashed successfully. You have been brainwashed successfully. And that is not a good thing that you have been brainwashed. Whatever you can do, like I know we like to say that men are whatever, but men are not stupid. Men can control themselves if they want to. It's just that there are a lot of men that choose not to. And if he doesn't control himself while being in a relationship with you, it's because he doesn't respect you. And it's really just that simple. He does not respect you or care about you or like you or any of those things. Because how come you can control yourself, but he can't? And it's crazy because women have way more access to opportunities for cheating than men ever will. A woman could cheat and say, even, I don't care if she's 80 years old. If a woman is willing to do something with somebody, there's some man that will take it. So why in the world isn't the fidelity of a woman more valuable than, no, what am I trying to say? Why isn't the fidelity of a woman looked at as like, wow, it's amazing. She stayed faithful. So if a woman does cheat, why isn't that it's no big deal for her? when she has way more opportunity to do so. You get what I'm saying? Like, way more opportunity to do that. And to, but I just think it's just because I've realized as I've gotten older that a lot of things that, are put on to women is actually more applicable to men than women. I even think as far as the logic and emotion thing, some of the most emotional people I've met have been men, not women. So, yeah. And I think that sometimes what men confuse as to not being emotional is actually a lack of empathy. Like they consider that to be, them having control over their emotions, not having empathy towards other people, you know? And that's not the case. But anyway, you guys, I want this to be a longer live. I was hoping I could get some more, maybe some women that agree with that it is, a good thing for a wife to stay with the man through cheating and stay long term. Because I would love to pick the brain of a woman that feels that way. Because honestly, I would like to know, where it is coming from. Like why you feel that way. How you manage to accept that. Like, so if there are any women that pass through this live, you're a woman and you think that it's okay to accept the man back for cheating, or you think it's okay to, like, men are just going to cheat, but you feel like women should be held to a different standard. I just wonder, or you feel like it's Christian, it's godly for you to stay with a man that has, cheated on you and disrespected you in a million different ways. I would like to know, I will let you speak for 3 minutes uninterrupted because I really want to know, like, where how you managed to get to that thought process. No judgment. I just really want to know, like, because I don't think, and matter of fact, I think that I'm going to come back today and I'm going to ask a question and I'm going to say, like, to the pick me's, why do you feel like, this or that and the third? Because I really want to know. Oh, thank you so much, Cookie. I appreciate you. Thank you. And I think it was somebody else that talked to me too. Let's see here. Tanitra, you said, my former friend believes that every man cheats. She grew up with both parents, low self-esteem. Yeah, that's crazy. 200 Maya, you said, and it's crazy because cheating is one of the only permissible reasons for divorce. I know, girl. Do you know now, 200 Maya, the dudes are trying to say that only applies to men? It doesn't apply. It doesn't apply to women. Oh my goodness. For real. Um, yeah. So I don't know. And I saw Moses, that guy Moses or whatever. I saw him in a live, shaming women and telling them that no, 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 no. The woman is supposed to stay. And it was another guy that I saw doing that too. I think his name was Song or something. He was saying like that the Bible only allows for like men to get married after they cheat. That they can get remarried, but the woman cannot. And I was thinking to myself, like, y'all really be believing that? Like, y'all really, it's just, I don't know. It's, these dudes are crazy. Like, so crazy. So insane, sis. So insane. But anyway, you guys, I think I might come back, like I said, and ask that question to pick niches and be like, this is a pick niche live. I only want pick niches on the panel only because I want to pick their brains. But if I do that, I think I'm going to go do it from my backup page. So if anybody that's listening, I'm going to come back though, but it's going to be like, maybe in like, I might come right back, but if I come back, it'll be like in like 15 minutes or so. Micah, you said boys will be boys. Are you serious or are you joking? I sent you a request because I don't know if you're serious or joking. But yeah, I'm gonna ask. I want to have just a straight pick me panel where I can actually pick the brain of, these women and ask, what their thought processes are and how they came to that conclusion. Because I think if we can, of course, not all pick-me's are able to be saved. However, though, if we are able to pick the brain of some and figure out why, then maybe we can actually stop pick-me's in their tracks before they get started, if that makes sense. But anywho, yeah. So I think I'm going to come, like I said, back on my backup page. If anybody wants to follow me there, if you don't already, it's a triggered thoughts of a BW. And I'm gonna go live on there in a second. And it's just gonna be, I want to pick Misha panel because I really need to know. I really need to know. All right, you guys, I'll see you later. Oh, and thanks, Kenneth, for coming.